2011 Ultimate Builder Custom Bike Show in New York City. We're talking with Alex Swetlow from Ram Cycles. Alex, take a moment and tell me a little about your background in bike building.
Fantastic. Been working in the industry my whole working career. Been around motorcycles ever since I was about 6 years old, racing motocross, supercross, road racing. Something I found that I felt that was lacking in the industry is that a lot of times people have a compromise between form and function, and I feel that there's no compromise to that whenever we build a bike.
What were you trying to accomplish with this build, Alex?
This was what we tried to accomplish with this bike was that customer basically stated that he had a VMAX and he has a big Shogun, I guess samurai warrior passion. So he felt that this bike was a warrior, has oodles of horsepower, so that was ultimately the direction that we went with the bike. From the paint job to the stance of it was more or less to be a warrior.
And what was your vision on this? Was it his vision, or you basically took his vision and modified it to your vision to give him what he wanted?
Sure, absolutely. This was a kind of a collaboration between more or less his vision and him giving me the free rein to do what my vision was. So it gave me a little bit of direction of what he was looking for in color scheme wise, and then after that he pretty much just gave me free rein, allowed me to go the direction that I wanted to go, being some of the graphics and the Asian writing on the side is actually the Shogun, and we have what I felt was the Shogun Warrior on the front of the bike as well, which is right here on the gas tank, or I should say the airbox cover.
Let's talk about the fabrication. Let's start at the front end with the front end, and let's work our way back towards the rear.
Sure, absolutely. Fabrication, I mean, Yamaha did such a fantastic job developing this bike out of the box. Very few things that I had to alter. Went ahead and lowered the stance of the bike a little bit, so we dropped the front end a little bit, decreased a little bit on the trail, but it definitely did make it a little bit quicker handling. So from the front of the bike, we went ahead and powder coated miscellaneous parts, removed the stock turn signals, incorporated some smaller LED turn signals, and that's pretty much for the front end. Going into the middle of the bike, have a lot of the contrast cut aluminum covers that we went ahead and installed. We did do some performance work to the motor, that being that we removed the stock airbox. We did a set of velocity stacks with the individual filter pods. Went ahead and did a kit Yamaha race ECU. We're using a Power Commander 5, PC5 in this, with the auto-tune setup, as well as the Acro X pipe, which is basically a catalytic converter delete on this. Going back into it furthermore, went ahead and opted for a set of rear sets to get a little bit more of an aggressive stance. These are made from a company called Otec out of Germany. To get ahead and increase the fuel capacity on the bike, we went ahead and stuck in a larger capacity fuel tank, which is made by Otec as well, which increased it about 1.5 gallons in capacity. So now you can actually get some mileage on it. Continuing further back, we went ahead and did the wide tire kit 240 that's on the bike from the stock 200. Did a lowering link to go ahead and once again get the stance correct to where it was and where it needed to be. For the most part, that's pretty much it.
Let's talk about the engine. What modifications have you done to that?
Sure, sorry about that. The engine modification wise, we're using a kit YEC race ECU. Did a set of billet velocity stacks to remove the airbox and using individual air filter pods. We used a Kropovic X pipe, which is basically a cat delete for it to go ahead and get some flow out of the exhaust. We're using a Power Commander 5 with the auto-tune feature, as well as the data link for the LCD screen. Performance-wise, that's pretty much it.
What was your approach on paint?
Excuse me?
What was your approach on paint?
My approach on paint was the customer has this passion with a Shogun Warrior. So what I tried to do was get the Asian writing that's basically translate to Shogun, and if you were to look on the physical airbox cover, I have a Shogun Warrior in great detail. Can't really see it, but in here there's actually a color flip paint that's more or less a dragon that goes down along the whole side of this and continues up even up into here. So more or less the approach on the paint was that, you know, the bike's a warrior, he's got a passion for warriors, so we went ahead and did a warrior theme on the bike.
What companies were instrumental in getting the bike finished? What companies were instrumental in getting the bike finished?
I'm sorry.
What companies were instrumental in getting the bike finished?
I guess what would that include? Paint, or who's collaborated with
Right.
me? Right. Okay. We use a company, or do you want to ask your question again? We use a company out of the UK called Exact Rep. They've supplied us with a lot of the unique parts, including the high capacity fuel tank. Using the OTEC rear sets, a lot of these contrast cut aluminum covers we source from them as well. We used Power Commander Direct to allow us to get the fuel management computers. We've used Racetech suspension to help us get the geometry of the bike correct and help us revalving the suspension components to make it work properly.
If somebody would like to get more information on your company, how would they do that?
Absolutely. We're located on the web at www.ramcycles.net. Our phone number is area code 301-279-BIKE, 301-279-2453. We're located in Rockville, Maryland.
Alex, thank you very much.
Thank you.